Boeing Starliner has missed ISS docking, and the whereabouts are currently unknown after NASA cut live feed of this test. Thank goodness there were no astronauts on it. Tom Fish reports Express UK. The Boeing Starliner capsule failed on its maiden flight, with NASA confirming the spacecraft is not in orbit. Previously, we were told it was in orbit. Well, it seems that it is not in orbit, and they don't know where it is. Now, where is the Boeing Starliner STS-100 right now? Boeing Starliner capsule failed to enter its planned orbit today, December 20th, after launching from Cape Canaveral, Florida. NASA Administrator Jim Bridenstine was among those who broke the news, tweeting, "Starliner in stable orbit. The burn needed for a rendezvous with the ISS did not happen. Working the issue." So that's what he stated before, that it was in stable orbit. Bridenstine later provided more detail, and he said, because Starliner believed it was in an orbital insertion burn, or that the burn was complete, the dead bands were reduced and the spacecraft burned more fuel than anticipated to maintain precise control. This precluded space station rendezvous. A NASA statement at 1:20 p.m. GMT said, despite launching successfully at 6:36 a.m. EST Friday on the United Launch Alliance Atlas V rocket from Space Launch Complex 41 at Cape Canaveral Air Force Station, Florida, Boeing's CST-100 Starliner is not in its planned orbit. And it went on to say the spacecraft currently is in a stable configuration while flight controllers are troubleshooting. The test initial stage reported went to plan, with Atlas V rocket launching from Florida just before dawn. And the rocket was scheduled to rendezvous with the International Space Station, where it was due to reach tomorrow. But Boeing announced that the Starliner's capsule's insertion into orbit was abnormal only half an hour into the test mission. Flight controllers are understood to be considering their option and insist the capsule is in a stable orbit. And the current whereabouts, though, of the Boeing Starliner CST-100 are currently unknown after NASA cut the live feed of the test. The Boeing Starliner capsule was unmanned, thank goodness, save for a test dummy named Rosie, wearing a polka dot bandana and a blue spacesuit. Quote, "She's pretty tough. She's going to take the hit for us," end quote, said NASA's Mike Fink, one of the 3 astronauts who are due to fly on the next Starliner mission. Well, look, if this one isn't successful, I don't think they'll be able to put live people in the next one. What happens if this happens with the astronauts in the next one? So it was hoped today's test would lead to a flight with astronauts on board next year. Also on board the Starliner were Christmas treats and presents for the 6 astronauts currently in the International Space Station, in addition to hundreds of seeds for science experiments. Well, it looks like that's not going to take place because they don't know where it is. The Boeing Starliner, the latest step in the competition of the SpaceX Crew Dragon, which had a successful launch in March this year. Elon Musk-owned SpaceX scheduled to launch 2 astronauts this spring. An astronaut has not launched into space from U.S. soil since July 2011 during Space Shuttle Atlantis' final flight. Astronauts have since then traveled to and from the ISS via the Russian Soyuz capsules from Kazakhstan, Baikonur, and it cost NASA $86 million every time. Now, I for one don't understand how they don't know where the whereabouts of the Starliner is. Don't they have any electrical communications with this thing? If they don't, that's a huge mistake. Is it still up? Has it did it fall back to Earth? Did it fling out into the wide blue black yonder of space? Who knows? This is not good, obviously. And another question I'm asking myself is, if the shuttles were so beautiful, going up and coming down and reused all the time, why did they stop that program? Why? Obviously, it would have been a remarkable savings in cost And it would have been, of course, American hands that were sending up the American astronauts to the ISS. And why did they have to start relying on the Russians to do that for them? I don't understand that. If anybody does, please let us know. In the meantime, I wish you all a wonderful, blessed Christmas season. God bless you all. Thank you. If you'd like to join me on my Patreon account, you will hear content not covered by mainstream media. These riveting stories will be based on my research, and I will state my opinions and give my personal insight on diverse and controversial subjects and world events not covered by mainstream media, and not supported by YouTube guidelines. So whatever I have on my Patreon, most of those will not be on my YouTube channel. Please consider becoming a member today. More of the most significant and important videos will be on my Patreon channel. Your support helps me to continue my research and keeps this YouTube channel alive. And we depend on your support, your generous charity, because we help economically challenged families here in Athens, Greece, in Kapota, and we also help the young generation with university tuition and the community around our church. Thank you.